Hey, how about that, Dolphins fans? It's our first Victory Monday show of the year. First of many. I can feel it. What a day yesterday was. What a watch party we had in that 36-34 win over the Chargers. And we blew the subscriptions out of the water yesterday, over 1,000, which helped the Dolphins win. I'm convinced of it. So you know what that means. Continue to subscribe for daily Dolphins videos, daily trade rumors, injury news, whatever it may be, and most importantly, sub for Dubs. Sub for Dubs. You helped the Dolphins in that Week 1 win, the first of many W's this season. All right, who's still on cloud nine from that victory yesterday? I know I am. Miami gets it done 36-34. And I suppose I should still probably introduce myself, still being the new guy around here. Jake Riepma, host of Dolphins Today by Chat Sports. And anytime you've got a Victory Monday show, it's a fun show. But hey, we're all human too, so there's a little bit of Overreaction Monday tied into this as well. But most importantly, the Dolphins go on the road in Week 1 and pull off a thrilling victory, come from behind no less, 36-34. So let's get right into it. We're not wasting any time. A couple of Overreaction Monday points for you, starting with number 1. That's got to be where we start. Tua Tagovailoa, folks, as the kids say, is him. That's right. Tua passed for more yards than any quarterback in Week 1. In fact, he nearly set a record for the most passing yards in a Week 1 game with 466 there. In the Super Bowl era, only 2 other quarterbacks have passed for more yards in a Week 1 opener, and they're pretty recognizable names. Tom Brady and Miami Dolphins legend Dan Marino. So with 466 yards passing by Tua Tagovailoa, that's the third most of any NFL quarterback in a Week 1 opener. And oh, by the way, he had the 3 touchdowns and the 1 interception. So he wasn't perfect. That's crazy. He can even improve. And folks, let me tell you, it was about as brilliant of a clinic as a quarterback can put on the road in a hostile environment in a tough game. Tua Tagovailoa is him. Now, it's also important to point out that for every Batman, there's a Robin, right? Tyreek Hill is that guy. And I think you can even make the case that he's the best wide receiver in the National Football League. I know it's Overreaction Monday. It's a 1-game sample size, but look at the numbers. 11 catches, over 200 yards receiving, the 2 touchdowns, including the game winner. Tyreek Hill was special yesterday. And I said this in Week 1 in the preview leading up to it. There are playmakers, sure, but then there's this other category that Tyreek Hill's in, a game changer. He makes plays, but he changes the game. And that's exactly what you saw yesterday on the road against the Chargers. Of course, over 200 yards receiving. But when the game was on the line, Tyreek Hill and from Tua Tagovailoa were those guys that changed the game and put the Dolphins and propelled them to victory when it mattered most. So, overreaction number 1, Tua is him. And I think, and I want to know if you believe the same, Tua Tagovailoa and Tyreek Hill are the best connection in the NFL. It's our pinned comment today. So if YouTube hits you with that ad break, fear not. Get down to the comments and let me know if you agree with me or not. It's Overreaction Monday. It's Week 1, but Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill is the best quarterback to wide receiver connection in the National Football League. Type Y if you agree and if you don't. All right, second point I want to get to on our Overreaction Monday here on Dolphins Today. We kind of unexpectedly discovered a little secret sauce, if you will, for the Miami Dolphins, and that is the offensive line play. A lot of question marks coming in, and with none bigger than Terron Armstead being out at left tackle and Kendall Lamb filling in for him. But I got a standing ovation for that Dolphins offensive line. They did not allow a sack, and Tua Tagovailoa was hit just twice in all those passing attempts. dropping back, play action, whatever it may be. Frank Smith did a great job of mixing it up in terms of the type of passes, the type of drop box for Tua Tagovailoa, but most importantly, that Dolphins offensive line kept Tua clean, kept him upright, kept him dry, and he was able to pick apart that Chargers defense. So, with that said, I think we can conclude that this Dolphins offensive line might be a little bit better than we thought, so much to the fact that I'm willing to bet they are the secret weapon for the Dolphins moving forward en route to a successful season in the weeks ahead. And the news could get better because Terron Armstead was right on the bubble of whether or not he could play in week 1. Mike McDaniel said he was progressing well, just wasn't quite ready for week 1. So, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to even pretend to play one, obviously. But based on the reports, you got to think the Dolphins will get Terron Armstead back in the lineup sooner rather than later. And we know how important and how crucial he was to the Dolphins' success last year. But, hey, in week 1, they proved, that offensive line proved that it can be done without Terron Armstead. So we got to show that offensive line some love. We got to give them the flowers. Show the O-line some love. Type OL in the comments right now to give kudos to that offensive line. Dolphins Today is made possible by Game Time. Guys, you know I'm the new guy here, and when they told me we're doing a deal with Game Time, I was ecstatic because Game Time is my one-stop shop for all my ticket needs. Yes, we're going to see the NFL this year. We want to see some Dolphins games, home or away, whatever it may be. But on Game Time, you can also see concerts, live events, whatever it may be, last-minute deals. That's Game Time specialty. So if you're a little bit spontaneous like me, you know, maybe one day you decide, day of, I want to go see this concert. I want to go to this game. Game Time is the app for you. Super easy to use. You can even see a picture of where your seats are from. So you're not just looking at some kind of diagram. It gives you the actual view, and it's a great, convenient tool for people that want to go to games like me, like you, and for being a Dolphins fan, for being a Dolphins subscriber to Dolphins Today, we got a special promo code for you. When you create an account, use promo code FINSCHAT to redeem $20 off your first purchase. That's right. So, snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code FINSCHAT for $20 off your first purchase. That's PHINS chat for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Create an account, redeem the code, $20 off using code FINSCHAT. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, now just as we overreact on the good side of things, the positives, and it's easy to do when you have a big road win, there are some instances in which the Dolphins didn't exactly look the best yesterday in some areas to clean up, most notably, in my opinion, that run defense. Now, again, before I go any further, you got to shout out the defense. They made plays when it mattered most. But a 36-34, that's a high-scoring affair in the National Football League. And the reason the Chargers were able to have so much success was the ground game. The rushing attack, the two-headed monster of Austin Ekeler and Joshua Kelly. Now, everybody in the NFL knows how good Austin Ekeler can be, and he proved it yesterday. 16 carries, over 100 yards rushing, 117 to be exact, better than 7 yards a carry, and the one touchdown. And Joshua Kelly was that nice complementary back that also did some damage against the Dolphins. 91 yards, almost 5.7 yards rushing, the one touchdown. And for Joshua Kelly, it was kind of a coming out party for him because he was not nearly as big of a name as Austin Ekeler. So for the Dolphins to give up over 200 yards rushing, and again, both of these guys had their way on the ground, and still get out of there with a victory is a testament to making plays when it mattered most. But my big overreaction is the fact that this Dolphins defense can't give up over 200 yards rushing and expect to win at a consistent level. How did they make the plays when it mattered most? It was the pass rush. Justin Herbert, phenomenal quarterback. You give him time, he's going to pick you apart. And when the game was on the line in that final drive Dolphins leading 36-34. The Chargers with the ball back. That defensive line stepped up immensely, 2 sacks, and they also forced Justin Herbert to have an intentional grounding penalty. So you got to credit Vic Fangio for dialing up the right defenses in that last drive. But let's give some kudos to the guys that got into the backfield and got some sacks against Justin Herbert. Zach Zeeler had 1 sack, and Kader Kohou, the cornerback. That's what I mean by Vic Fangio knowing when to dial up pressure. A couple of corner blitzes that resulted in sacks. Kader Kohou is an example. And then the game-sealing sack that won it for the Dolphins on 4th down. It was another corner blitz dialed up by Vic Fangio. Justin Bethel and Jalen Phillips combining for the sack to give the Dolphins the win. So was the defense good? No, not at all, especially that run defense. Did they make plays when it mattered the most to help contribute to that total team victory? Absolutely. And this Dolphins defense will need to be better in the weeks moving forward, but you still got to give them credit for making some plays when it mattered most. But that run defense needs to be better. So let me ask you, where are you at in terms of your confidence level in this defense? They showed us probably more bad than good yesterday, if we're being honest. But I got to know in the chat, 1 to 10, scale it, confidence level in this Dolphins defense. Where are you at? They showed some signs 1 and other times 10 and everywhere in between. So got to know where you're at. Let me know in the comments on that confidence level for this Dolphins defense. Because I'll tell you where I'm at. It's 1 game. This Chargers offense is no joke. Justin Herbert, one of the league's upper echelon quarterbacks. Austin Ekeler, probably a top 5 running back. And the weapons, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. This is a talented Chargers offense. Now, I'm not making excuses for this Dolphins defense, but let's pump the brakes, which is contrary to Overreaction Monday. I know. However, I think this Dolphins defense is still gelling a little bit. And again, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Vic Fangio, first-year defensive coordinator, still working with all of his pieces and how to properly put them together so that their best foot is being put forward on the defensive end. So let's pump the brakes a little bit and give it some time. My confidence level in this defense is right around a 7.5 because I do think they have enough talent on the defensive side of things to continue to keep the Dolphins in games, and we know what that offense can do, led by Tua Tagovailoa. So, with that said, let's just review our Overreaction Monday. First and foremost, he's number 1 on the field, number 1 in my heart, number 1 in your heart. He is him. Tua is him. He's a top-tier quarterback in this league, and I think he's going to continue to put up numbers. In fact, the odds makers agree with me, in fact, because all of a sudden, Tua Tagovailoa is your 4th best favorite to win the National Football League MVP. So his odds went from plus 2,200 to plus 800. So obviously the odds makers are agreeing with me that Tua Tagovailoa is one of the short favorites to win the MVP in the National Football League. Offensive line, key to the success of this Miami Dolphins team because we know the talent that they have. We know the weapons that they have. If Tua can stay clean, stay dry, not get hit, they'll be successful. Terrible run defense. Yes, pump the brakes, give it time. Vic Fangio will get that defense ready to go. And we haven't talked about this one yet, but Jason Sanders was really good until he wasn't. A costly, what could have been catastrophic, missed extra point after the Dolphins go-ahead touchdown. You can't have that. If you're a Super Bowl contending team, which I believe the Dolphins are, you can't have minor hiccups like that. And it's unfortunate, too. It's more of the position than anything else. When you're a kicker, you can, and Jason Sanders was good. He was good for the majority of the game. 3 for 4 from field goals, including a 45-yarder at the end of the first half as the horn sounded on the last play. But that one missed extra point is what I'll remember. Fair or not, that's what fans will remember as well. And again, more predicated around the position, nothing personal, but Jason Sanders has got to be better in terms of never missing an extra point. And I know it's a tough draw, but it's what you sign up for to be a kicker in the NFL. He knows that. I know it. And I think he'll be just fine. It was just one bad kick. He missed the extra point. So, Vibes are good. Vibes are high. That's why you subscribe. Dolphins watch parties. We got over 1,000 subs yesterday, which was awesome. New subscribers, we love it. But that just continues to push the goal up even higher. Our next goal, 45K. Can we do it? I think absolutely. We need 644 subscriptions to get to 45K. Subscribe now. Tell your friends, tell your parents, tell your grandparents that use YouTube. I know they know how to use YouTube. Tell your cousins, aunts, uncles, whoever it may be. If you want Dolphins coverage, daily Dolphins coverage, injury news, injury updates, overreaction Mondays, live watch parties, subscribe to the channel. So we'll give you one more review on everything that we learned about here. Tua Is Him. Offensive line is the secret to success. Terrible run defense. Keep the kicker. And it all works out and compiled into our most important overreaction takeaway for today. This is a Super Bowl caliber team, and week 1 was just the beginning. What do I mean by Super Bowl caliber? They realistically can start having conversations about making noise and playing meaningful games into the playoffs and eventually make that run for the Super Bowl. Don't believe me? Turn on ESPN. Pat McAfee said the same thing earlier today. This Dolphins team is a problem. They are scary good, and if the defense steps up a little bit, they get pressure on the quarterback, we know what this offense can be. We know what this Dolphins team can do as far as the weapons that they have, and I just can't wait for next week. Next Sunday night, they're taking on the Patriots. The rest of the world is gonna know because it's a primetime game. They are on notice. The Miami Dolphins possess what it takes to be a Super Bowl caliber team, and I can't wait to be along for the ride. I know you can't wait. That's why you subscribe. Dolphins today, it's just the beginning, baby, but Miami is 1-0. Thanks for tuning in today, and be sure to like and subscribe. Dolphins today on Chat Sports, and we'll see you next time. See ya.